That's why you're keeping it? Kill him. I just told him to take that out of his deck. We're gonna kill you, bro. I'm telling you, we're gonna kill you. And they're gonna see it. Bro, Niv is it? Bro. Talk to me. What's going on? No, I'm down to play against it. Just try not to wipe all my elves unless I'm really getting out of hand. I believe you, but it's scary. Yeah, you're just trying to get me shaking in my boots and it worked. You might see me drop some gems here. Have you all teary-eyed? That throw is a thorn in my fucking side. And she's a scar of the good native Golgari.
Welcome to Ace's Tavern. Story of the game. Big facts. These edited Commander games are fire. They're dead-ass litty. No cap. We about to throw hands and someone gonna be pressed and take a big L. My OBS is sus. And didn't record my opponent's voices, only mine. And it just hit different. It had me in my feels. But that's alright. Young boy's still extra. And I'm finna make a short episode and just keep it moving. You know the vibes, bruh. Let's introduce our contestants. Our first warrior does not suffer the living to pass. He'll let you die unless you're already dead. It's Wilhelm, the Rock Cleaver. He's too legit to quit, and he draw cards and he shoot shit. It's Niv Mizzet. And next we just got a couple of tree huggers. Thanks, Kodama. A damn snake in a trapper. Catching up all the squirrels and not leaving nothing for nobody.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful number we're gonna play that we recorded. Ace's Tavern.
Oh, I have this fucking Tangled Florahedron I just put in here. Thank God. My brother's trying to tell me this card's sorry. Y'all need to school him up. Yeah, his Kodama deck, we're rivals. Credit voucher. What the fuck? I like that, bro. I like your style. Right? He knows. He's got a nice style. Play Elvish Piper. Last turn. Something nasty this way comes. I know, right? Bro, you got $2 grand on your board right now, so... Yeah, you're right. God, you're so smart. Love that about you. And Elvish Piper... Giant Adaphage. Play Accomplished Alchemist. What? Very nice. God, you can wheel me, my brother. 6. And bring out Kodama. And I kind of smell my Kodama. Okay. I respect it. That's a Tap the Elvish Piper. And I'll bring out Spirit Monk. The Banner Herald of the Dead. Okay, I'll tag you with 7/7 Trampler. Okay, when he deals damage, he creates a copy of himself. Bro, you're scary with like nothing over there. Everybody draws 6. Oh, fuck yeah. So I won't even get these ones that are in my hand. This is gonna be awesome. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and attempt to bring him back. 8 responses. I'm gonna swing 1 giant Adaphage at Big Red and 1 at Haiti. They both create copies, so now there's 4. It's like a blob that's growing out of control. Now, when they come onto the battlefield, I'll get Kodama procs. So I'm going to drop in the Circle of Dreams Druid and a Garrett Primal Hunter. I'm just going to take him up 1 and create a 3/3 beast. God, my favorite is Demir, so I just fucking love seeing your board right now. cards. Just love it. Sack Beast Token. Beast Token, your life was short. Oh, love it, bro. Underplay card. Actually, maybe not, because it kind of sucks, but I run it too. Oh, that works so good with your deck, though. That's fucking S tier. So he's now gonna draw double. Dude, I hate to do it, but I love to do it. First thing I'm gonna do is tick up my Garrick. I'm gonna -3. Draw all cards equal to greatest power. Those creatures with 7. I'm gonna bring out Ikris Shadiki, the Usurper, Kodama Trigger, Defense of the Heart. So that's a problem. And then I'll move to combat. 1/7/7 each at 80 and Big Red, and then the rest will come at you, Manny. My Kodama Trigger for the new Overseers, I'm gonna bring in a Vigor and a Willow Dusk Essence Seer. When the damage is dealt, I gain life, so that's 20. And then I'll tap the Accomplished Alchemist for 20 black, a Necropotence Incarnation Technique. So Sisters of Stone Death and the Thedros Witherbloom come into play. Kodama triggers, Gilrana, just a couple more mana dorks, and Llanowar Elves. And on my end step, I'll pay 10 life for the Necropotence and I'll pass turn. Sorry for the turn long day. That was one of my most going off turns I've probably ever had.
So this turn saw me drop 11 permanents into play, with entering or played cards having a total mana cost of 59. So let's talk about board wipes. This is why we play them. Why would you want to kill your own stuff? Well, because sometimes someone gets far out of hand. On the last episode, it was me who needed a board wipe to save the game, and here's my opponents. Also, run more spot removal and play your spot removal early. But wait, you said on the other episode, don't just remove the first nice thing that hits the board. And yes, I stand behind that. But if you spot a threat with velocity, you have to remove it before it gets going. It always comes back to threat assessment. Spot removal wouldn't do hardly anything to my board now, but if the giant Ataphage or Elvish Piper was removed early, my board would look much different. When he countered my commander on turn 4, it seemed like a questionable play to me, but watching it back, it was actually really good threat assessment as I already had an Elvish Piper on board, and things were going to turn sour fast. They still did, but if I had been hit early with one more piece of spot removal from each of the other players, I firmly believe this game wouldn't have gotten so out of hand. But what happens if they blow it all up?
I feel really bad now for giving the Niv Mizzet player grief about his power level. This is the direction of his turn.
Now let's watch this guy pull exactly what he needs. It's kind of a beautiful moment.
Let me see the 9. Okay, I see what's going on. Okay, I have a response. I'm going to pay 10 life to untap my lands. Tap 1 black and Malakir Rebirth. Tamiyawa Safekeeping. Target permanent gains hexproof and indestructible. I gain 2 life. Ah, Jesus. I save my Vigor and my Kodama. Oof, very nice. It's a game, guys. It's a game. I love Garrick's Wake too. I feel like people won't run that. I have that in here. Hopefully I return the favor to you. Alright. That's a problem. I'm crying. Defense of the Heart pops. So we'll see what's left. Old Gnawbone, Vorinclex. The other Vorinclex, the one that's not a dick play like yours. I'll put in Elemental Bond and Llanowar Tribe. The Llanowar Tribe draws on Elemental Bond. And now I do 3 freeze, so I get 3 creatures from the top. Soul of the Harvest, Druid of Petrification, Color of the Pack. Tower, yeah. So Growing Rites of Illimak. And then it flips and my turn's over. I'm gonna discard these 3 lands. Yeah, we've recovered from the Garrick's wake. We've recovered.
This last turn cycle is very long, and I'm going to zoom through my opponent's turns here because in the context of the game, it's essentially them not getting the answers that they need. I am being milled a lot here by the Niv Mizzet player, and I end the game with only 6 cards left in my library.
Let's pay 2 green for Galta Primal Hunger. Kozilek the Great Distortion. Zendikar Resurgent. Quibige. Veto of the Thorn Dusk Rose. Leyline Prowler. And then let's see if I can win here. I killed the Island Walk thing with my Beast Within. Or no, they're all double, so.
So I do end up with enough attack damage to win here, but only because Unnatural Growth.
Alright, good game, gentlemen. Sorry for all the... I felt like I usually play a lot faster and just had so much shit to do there. Yeah, I had 6 cards in my library. Like, if it would have went to his turn, I was dead. So you were going to make me mill 18.
Alright, I have some things to say, but first I'm giving out the game MVP. The runner-up is Giant Adaphage, coming in on turn 4, leaving on turn 7, and creating 5 copies of himself over that time, proccing Kodama for 7 every single time. I love this card. Good job, buddy. Ugh, am I talking to the cards at this point?
Yeah, you are.
That game MVP was Necropotence. By allowing me to skip my draw step, this card had me dodge the puzzle box, be able to plan my turns, and allowed me to easily traverse Garrick's Wake. So we find ourselves at the end. What do we learn? Well, run more board wipes and spot removal is an evergreen lesson, but this was a truly odd game, and I think something deeper was going on. My brother was playing the other Kodama deck. Our decks are rivals. You know, we've been video game rivals way back since Pokemon Red and Blue. And we had a really interesting conversation after the game where he said something that really stuck in my head. As I'm sitting here editing, it's been 8 days since we had the conversation, and I've just been thinking about it nonstop, and I still don't know what to make of it. So we were agreeing that my Kodama deck had never gone off like this before. And the deck's always been strong, consistent, and fun. But when you build a deck, I think you get a vision of, well, if I had this piece and I had this and this, I could really do some amazing things. But being a singleton format, the games always play out differently. And you could play many, many games before you finally have that game where you feel like your deck performed to its full potential. And I finally had that game that I envisioned with this deck, and it felt bad. It felt bad during, felt bad after. And then my brother said, yeah, it's like you were the only person that was having fun. And I'm sitting here editing. It's been 8 days since we played the game, and I've just been thinking about it constantly, and I still haven't processed it fully. There was this kind of depressed, salty vibe at the table for much of the game. And not because we were playing with salty players. These guys were fun and funny. We had some jokes and some laughs, and not one person complained about anything. But there was also stretches of silence, and you could just kind of feel this hopelessness at the board state for much of the game. I felt bad, and I managed to not have much fun either, despite playing with a great group of guys. I've always held a firm opinion that Commander games are fun because you're hanging out with people and laughing. And I don't tie my fun to the board state, but this isn't the first game that I've seen where a hopeless board state bleeds into the social element and starts leeching fun away from the game. So, no, 80. I wasn't the only one having fun here. We were all having fun, just not very much. And while I think players should run more spot removal and more board wipes, I hate that this seemingly is an end-all be answer to concerns that people have with the format. Can we make Commander better? Yes. I think the first thing we can do is the player that goes first not draw. The Command Zone does a great episode on stats, and according to their sample size of 316 games, they found that the player that goes first has a 30% chance to win, while the second, third, and fourth players have a 23% chance. Here I went first and won, and I don't know how much of a difference a single card would make, but there's an obvious precedent for this change. There's a reason you don't draw first in 60 card formats, because it's pretty apparent that going first is a big advantage. I think another thing we can do is partners. Partners are broken. They're cool and I love them, but they're busted. I think the easiest thing we can do, which they already do in Duel Commander, is that you start with one less card in your hand if you have a partner. A couple other options would be not counting the command tax separately, or even forcing partners to share at least one color in common. But let's not make these changes in CEDH, which brings me to my next point, bans. I've been pretty against bans. I don't like options being taken away. But after this game, I think I've changed my mind. Let's ban my favorite card in all of Magic, Necropotence. We need to ban cards in Casual Commander but leave them unbanned for CEDH. Is this a crazy idea? CEDH is its own monster, and I found games there to be much less salty because the expectations are clearer. Casual play is negatively affected by unclear expectations. And the reason that so many content creators talk about the power level discussion and about Rule 0 is because it's all we have. And it doesn't really work. The only question that really works is this CEDH? So I know we could do separate bans, and I think Necropotence is a great example. It was a backbreaking card in this episode, and it's a card really without a power level, kind of above S tier. Some might say, well, why don't you just not run it in that deck? A fair point. But to those I say, it's my favorite card in all of Magic. You'll have to pry this and Rhystic Study from my cold dead hands. So let's ban my two favorite cards. And Dockside, and let's ban tutors while we're at it. Or the other option is we can just not do anything. I think it's reasonable to say that the majority of Commander games I play don't end up having power level problems, and that the format can just keep going as is. But I really think the percentage of problematic games is high enough to do something about. And for those of you advocating against any changes in the format, let's think about it. Is Commander really a done format? So good that we can not look to make further improvements? As the power levels continue to creep, I think this conversation continues to get more and more important. So let's keep talking. And that's all I'm doing at this point is too much blah blah blah. Which reminds me, how about a rule like in chess where you can only repeat an action 3 times?
Oh yeah, it's cool. Hey guys, I cut his feed. He's still talking. He thinks the episode's still going on, but it's over. So what does he say at the end usually to close it out? Like something smart and then I'm out? That's stupid. If you play Blood Moon, I hate you. And I'm out. Ace's Tavern.
We can do it, Ace.
I know. Right? This is gonna be awesome.
That's very pretty. I am incredibly dead.